state-of-the-art 2006 technology. So we're finishing the rest of Captain America. We're just falling asleep during it last night.
Right. The name does sound familiar. Heavily fortified territory in Europe.
That's what it takes.
You have the colonel. Your friend is...
So, what did I think? Captain America. Let me start by saying I love the setting of it. I have a very deep interest in the future predicted by old times. I think I mentioned this in yesterday's video, so that's why I like Fallout and stuff, is because I especially love the future predicted from sort of the Cold War era of history. And so I liked all the technology, sort of that, like, whatever. So I really like that, the setting. And I really like the beginning. I like Captain America's sort of origin story. I love, I was watching with Sam, who's seen a ton of the Marvel movies. So she was like pointing out, she's like, oh yeah, that's this, and that's the metal from Wakanda. So I can tell that like they're creating a deep universe. But to me, if I look at it just as a first-time viewer, I liked how they tied in Stark. I like how you get a little bit of a flavor of the personality that we've been introduced thus far in the series or thus far in the franchise. But overall, Captain America as a superhero, other than his very charming kind of personality, I don't necessarily think that he is terribly interesting. I don't think his superpower is very interesting. So, overall, like, once I got to the action sequences, I was kind of bored. I was like, all right, yeah, I get it, cool. There's a lot of like explosions and stuff. It's just not really my bag, so it lost me a little bit. But at the very end, where he comes out and it's modern, it's a spoiler, but whatever. You've had enough time to watch it. If you're watching any of these, spoiler alert. When he comes out in its modern era, I think that's cool. So like the overall concept of the movie was really cool. They were doing a lot of fun stuff with building up to something, but that's what it was. It was build up with like this section of just like standard issued action sequences that I found to be really boring. So while it's my favorite in terms of the story and creative storytelling that it is to be like, it's setting up for something really creative and cool, the movie as a whole, visually and like entertainment wise, was pretty boring. So I still like Iron Man 2 probably the best, in terms of it was the most fun, it was funny, it was very charismatic, it had a great Marvel voice, while this one was just really basic. We're setting up this character, we're setting up this universe. Thor was kind of similar. It was setting up a really cool universe, but the movie itself, the vehicle in which it was doing it was boring. So it's almost like, we're now at a place where the movies are setting up what I'm assuming for Avengers, which I did see that and I remember it being pretty good. So I don't know. I have to watch Avengers to really feel it, but we're getting somewhere where it's becoming something where the movies aren't expected necessarily to be standalones. They're starting to do a lot of fan, what do they call it? Not fan justice. Whatever. They're setting it up. They're making movies for people who've seen the series or plan to see more of the series. So, while my review of the initial movies is pretty boring, I have to put an asterisk that I think I will come to appreciate the part that this movie plays. Sort of like, it's hard to judge an early episode of a TV show, because all they're doing is setting up questions that can be answered, and you can't really appreciate the question until the answer comes, assuming the answer is good. So, anyways, that's what I feel like. Next one's Avengers, and I'm pretty excited to finish Phase 1 and move to Phase 2, because that's where I feel like they're going to start to hit their stride, and that's where I have absolutely no idea. I've seen none of the movies in Phase 2.